Good morning, Ms. Zen. Thank you for your question. It's hard to explain, but I notice the mind tends to live through the thoughts. Very good. And my representation of the world first went through a kind of internal feedbacks. From the ego. Before having this projection that seems external, as if I could now see this back and forth. However, the feeling of self seems to me linked to some sort of contraction of energy. That's a very refined question, very good one. You catch the subtle movements of your body mind, very good. That means you are mindful enough. You're still enough to watch the bubbles, the currents, the energy flow, no matter what names we put on, how we name it. It's just kind of movements in the absolute stillness. But this, again, this stillness is not dead. It's a conscious stillness. It's a crystal. It's like our awareness is like a crystal. Every facets of life, different lives, thoughts, feelings, individual, social, connective, are all revealed in this crystal-like or mirror-like awareness. So back to your question. Yes, the ego relies on something to live. Thoughts, feelings, patterns of behavior. Once you can let go or disidentify with any, from a very heavy thought to a very subtle thought or mental activities, from a huge waves to a very little bubble in this mirror-like awareness, the egoic mind or the ego lives in all that identification of any movement, from big waves to small waves to small bubbles. This whole thing is like it's a false identity. And again, also you feel the energy flow from your body. Also you feel the energy flow in your surroundings too, right? Time is changing. The earth is spinning. And everything is in this cycle of time, you see? Waking up, morning, noon, afternoon, night, midnight, and start again. Every animal, every tree, also ourselves. And this is sort of cycling of time. And our mind try to survive. I mean, the egoic mind try to survive through hanging on some, big waves, small waves, little bubbles. The ego doesn't want to die. Because now you, the pure awareness, try to take charge now. The master is coming home, the boss of the company, corporation. This whole body is a mini scale cooperation. Lots of things happening in this body. Now the pure awareness want to take in charge now. The real boss say, okay, egoic mind, you are the only CEO, I'm the boss. I will say yes or no. The CEO used to be, a fake boss. Now, okay, you want to kiss me out of this company now? No, sure he won't. Not very willing, okay? Want to take control, want to reach out again, want to feedback, want to fight back. So all these kind of games, not only individually, but also socially, collectively. You want to say you want to disidentify with this whole thing? It's not easy, trust me, because it's not yours. It's not yours only. Every education you have, every culture is a conditioning, okay? No matter it's a bad or good conditioning, it's a conditioning. Now you want to say goodbye, farewell to every conditioning. It's not easy. And the mind, the very conscious mind, how to say, so we have dreams, right? We have dreams in a sleep. So sometimes the dreams feel so real. It's like you are in a virtual reality while your five senses are shutting down, okay? In the dream state or in the wakeful state, the difference is in the dream state, our five senses shutting down, cutting off, okay, not working at all. Now in a wakeful state, our five senses are working, right? So if in a dream state, even without help of five senses, the mind can work on its own. Okay, you have to pay a little bit attention. Our mind can work on its own without help of the five senses. That's why people in the dreams they feel so real. They call it lucid dreams, right? Dreaming. So the ego can survive even without the help of five senses. So there's a back and forth. Even you're so quiet, you're not triggered by the five senses, but the the mind can work on its own and have some feedbacks even without the help of five senses. It has a little loop there, a loop, and you have to watch that thing too. That's why sitting meditation is important. Sitting meditation, closing your eyes, even and just imagine you are so in a quiet room, so quiet that there's no external inputs anymore. Like deep in the ground, 300 meters deep in the ground. No, there's no just the walls. You cut down all your five senses. This one, the sixth, can also work on its own. you see the back and forth as the little loops. So my feeling of self seems to me to be linked to some sort of contraction of energies. Yes, energy is not thought. A thought is an energy, but now you can have zero thought, but you still feel the energy flow, right? The tingling, the blood flow. That's a subtle awareness linked to some sort of contraction of energy. That's good one. So again, you use that reflection. The energy flow in your body is a reflection in your mirror-like awareness. You use that reflection no matter how subtle it is. Use that as a reference point, as a contrast, to go back to the stillness again. So for the stillness, there's no limitation, there's no boundary. If I use a number, okay, if I use, like now, our stillness, our conscious mind, the stillness in our conscious mind can be like 10. You feel calm, but it still have some waves in your, it's like the mirror is not total flat yet. It's not total flat yet. It's like a lake has some small waves or, currents. So in a wakeful time like now, the stillness, I use 10. So you can, if you're very good, you can drop 7, 5, 2. It's kind of really like a flat mirror now. Is the 0 the absolute stillness? Then we have to experience it in very deep meditation. You could say yes, or you could say no. You have to enter jhanas. First jhana, second jhana, third, fourth. The basic idea, the egoic I disappear. You have no location, you have no time. You enter of timeless, spaceless dimension. Then you can say you reach a very good level of stillness or awareness. Hello, hopefully I answered your question, Miss Zen. And hello to Sogato, all the particles dancing around. Yes. So waves upon waves upon waves. Very good. I hug my ego when it's scared. Yeah, if you really hug the ego, it's not ego anymore. It's your servant. I try my best to be aware, but I quickly slip in some past or future thoughts. What can I do? Stay away. Stay always aware. Then that's a very good question. You just back to the moment, back to this now. Again and again and again and again. Until no effort is needed. You are always present. Present, I just some little more explanation here. For more people, we are living in the present, yes, but for worldly understanding, living in the at moment or in the present means they're aware of the five senses. They're aware of the five senses. What they see, hear, taste, smell, and touch. That's a worldly understanding of living in the moment. But if you're a meditator, you're also aware of the thinking right now. So if you're meditator, your understanding of living at the moment or be present means you watch your thought too. You're watching your feelings, emotions, thinking, your gentle resistance to something you don't like, your, initial attachments or grasping for something you like. You have to be present enough to watch every movement outside. That's a worldly understanding, and inside. That's a meditator's understanding. That's what I mean, living in the moment. Once you think you are offline, you're not aware enough, you're back to the awareness again. The awareness is the last anchoring point. You can rest, okay? There's no deeper thing. Awareness is your essential, is the most fundamental foundation, ground. That's the ground, okay? That's why I always ask, to ask you to back to the ground again and again and again. That's where the practice is. What can I do to stay always aware? You are always aware. Trust me. I mean, in your wakeful state, you're always aware. You things lose the awareness because you're in the thinking, okay? In that mental activity or in the physical activity too. You are in the six senses. Just put in simple. You lose that awareness, which is beyond six senses. But we have to be cautious at this point. In the Heart Sutra, we say, form is emptiness, emptiness is form. So in this way, if we translate into mirror-like wisdom, reflection is the mirror. Mirror is the reflection. It's like there's a athlete in the zone. They're so engaged in the sports or any, running, skiing, especially it needs your full attention, that kind of stuff. Otherwise, you will be, the activity will be fatal, like faster driving a car, like world professional one, they have to vary in the present. Otherwise, one mistake, they are offline, it's a fatal mistake, right? So in that activity, the reflection in the mirrors becomes one. Make sense? The only difference that when a master doing nothing, engage in no activities, they can separate. They always identify they are the awareness, they're the consciousness. Instead, all the activities, all the reflections in the awareness, they don't deny any activity in the awareness, okay? There's no denial here. They enjoy the activities, they enjoy the reflections. They're so with compassion, with love, with concentration, with mindfulness. Yeah, there's no denial of the world at all. Hopefully, I answer your questions. Again, my answer or my words are pointers, which are good, but not good enough in terms of you have to realize it by yourself. I'm only the guide. You have to see. As a tourist, you have to see the scene, the mountains, the rivers by yourself. Hello, Christian. Yeah. Now the whole world is turbulent. How to maintain calm in this tornado or hurricanes? So first you cut your feet, your attention to that negativities, away from that. Most efficient, maybe not complete way to stay away from that negativity, from that news. The news actually are neutral. It's your projection that is bad. If you don't have the power of letting go, any attention, I would say, any attention, if you don't have power of disconnect, is, for example, now connect, have attention on your hands. You feel your hands, right? No problem. Focus. Feel the energy flow of your hand. No problem, right? to have attention on something is easier than to have your attention off something. Now, don't have your attention on your hands. Now your mind have to, oh, not hand now, but where? Your mind have to locate, your attention have to locate somewhere. Have to, oh, there's no seat. It's like a, a tired, weak person have to sit always to find a chair, to find a stool in a room. Otherwise, that senior person feel very tired and also boring, and our attention always want to say something. If you don't have the power just to be, just be. Your attention is not on anything yet. You're aware. Then you're safe here because you're aware. You're just aware. You don't have any connection like virtual or mental or emotional, connection with that, with anything, especially the bad things, the news, the bombings. No, back to your awareness. The whole world still, like a tornado, turbulent with strong wind, and then you are in the eye now. The eye of tornado or hurricane is still. You see that power of just a be. Any concentration on something, if you don't have the power of deconcentrate, deconcentration, defocus, I won't say disconnect, you just back to your source. Then you're safe. You're building up this just be, the power of just be, the power of be aware. You don't feed your attention on negativity. You even don't feed your attention on positivity too. You just be. This dual world, the duality is the dancing of the world. And you can be a pure watcher. That's called real strength. Okay. Once you can just be, then you can try to reach out and help and connect again, concentrate again, focus again. And once you feel you're disturbed, you deconcentrate and defocus and just be. It's a dynamic process. I don't ask you to just ignore all the news. No, it's fake. It's illusion. No, I don't want you to think that way. You can help. You can pray. You can donate. Any forms you can do. But in that connection, in that, reaching out, you always have the background of pure awareness or inner stillness. You are not disturbed in the activities. You are not becoming the victim of listening any bad news. You're always peaceful, deep understanding. Radiate into and through, yes. How to practice mirror-like awareness? A shortcut is just be present, be aware. Are you aware? Of course, you're aware. Now, just be aware, okay? Not feed any attention to your awareness. You're aware of, sorry. Be aware. Don't focus on anything you're aware of. I have a special session only talking about mirror-like realization or meditation. You can Google my YouTube channel, mirror-like wisdom, I think. You just be aware, and not attentive to any content you are aware of. That's it. 1 minute. That's simple. Be aware and not focus on anything, any content you are aware of. Simple. You just perceive whatever is, without any interpretation. Okay? You don't use your mind to interpret every content you're aware of. No translation, no interpretation, no description. Just be. That's a mirror-like awareness. If I use Salgado's word, you're the wave. You're not particle yet. You're the field, okay? You're the field. You're not particles. You're not even waves. You are field. Where all the waves and particles are perceived and experienced too. Salgado, yes, I'm a type of scientific guy. I like science anyway. So science is a knowledge, is a modeling of the reality. Physics, chemistry, physiology is everything. It's a modeling. Scientists try to understand the world through theories, modeling of the reality. It's in the group of knowledge, okay? But it's not your direct experience. Knowledge helps to realize, but unless you really feel it, wow, you are the universal unified field, while every particle's waves, electronic magnetic field exists. Every force is strong, weak, every particles, muons, protons, electrons is in your body right now. Then, wow, you appreciate all the scientists. Their efforts are so good, great, beautiful. You understand relativity by yourself. Everything you study, you're looking at is yourself. Okay, that's it's a driving force. You want to study by science and by meditation. Huge difference. Yeah, science is so good. It helps us. Science is a subject study object. Okay, I give you just very simple picture. A subject is studying an object no matter what object is. Up quarks, down quarks, muons, gluons, electrons, protons, or galaxies, nature, trees, animals. They're looking out to study an object. I will say the very subject should be studied too. Who is observing, who is studying, should be studied. That's a relativity. It's a bigger scale of relatives, right? And there's uncertainty here. Heisenberg is uncertainties. Yeah, it's very funny. if you really experience the thoughts are very uncertain from your experience, ever-changing, fleeting, transient thoughts, you will understand have more deep understanding Heisenberg's uncertainties. Maybe it's not different. It's not the same, but you see, you have your experience to try to open every box now. It's total different idea, and a very interesting. Push us a little bit to the frontier of the science, the frontier of the spirituality. Well, they both meet actually. Okay, I think that's all for today. Again, let's finish or end the session in mirror-like realization. You are the mirror. Everything you're aware of are reflections.